stuff like that.
You got the Pound Town girl, you know, the Pound Town girl.
Who is that?
You don't know the Pound
Oh,
Town?
but what's Pound? Why do they call her the Pound Town girl?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. Every time I hear it, I change it
Right. Yeah.
immediately.
She's from my city, you know. Mm-hmm.
But that be the thing. Like, if you come out with a record, let's say you are amazing as an artist, but if the record you're coming out with to, I guess, blow yourself up is dumb as shit, me personally, I am less likely to listen to anything else you put out. Because I feel like, why would you? I would feel like I don't want to ever dumb myself down or dim myself so that other people enjoy something that I'm doing. Like, if all of my music is great and it sounds nothing like, that's the song My Booty Hole Brown thing.
Yeah.
If I ever have to say some shit like that for people to, then I don't even want it. I never heard of her since before this.
But think about it, like, this is chess. This is chess, not checkers. Why are they pushing that? Because
why would you push that? And that'd be my thing. Why are you pushing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's chess. They push it because that's the lane. I thought it couldn't get no more crazy than
what?
I thought like Cardi B and Megan was like the limit. Then Suki Hana came. I was like, all right, that's the limit.
All right, that's the limit.
Now Sexy Red came. I was like, there's no limit.
Please.
Rihanna and her got a song together.
Yeah, they don't. No, matter of fact, no. I thought City Girls was the limit. Excuse me. I thought City Girls was the limit. And then Suki Hana, who was an actual porn star rapper, which I didn't know she did porn until I actually saw
just now.
on Twitter that she got OnlyFans.
Shit.
All right, it's porn rap now. All right.
But that is a genre. That seems like the genre of what
porn rap.
It is porn rap.
Yeah.
Damn, that's actually like kind of smart.
It is. So that's why I say that's why I say business is savage.
Yeah.
Because on one end, sometimes you have to do that to make it in your particular life, but the residuals could be damaging to the culture or whatever.
And that is my thing.
Yeah,
How does this benefit the culture that you are a part of?
But then on the other hand, people say the culture don't benefit me.
But the culture we are the culture. So you are the culture. That means you have to be mindful of what you're putting out there for the culture that you are in. You're black, I'm sorry, you're in this culture.
But
what are you doing?
But an artist could say, I tried to come out with positive music, it didn't blow me up. Culture didn't support it.
Keep doing your music, and the people who support that and want to care about what you're saying,
I agree with that.
Will follow you.
You had to be
because there are artists who are like that, who have culturally.
I agree.
Responsive music, and culturally responsive music was a big thing in the 90s, where it was like that was what music was. It was this is the culture that we are part of, and we're going to make music around what we are actually experiencing within the culture as a whole. Not my individual life, but the fact that us as a people are experiencing this. And I'm going to make music because I know everyone's going to listen to it. And this would be an easy way to spread a positive message. Mm-hmm. And I feel like at some point, I don't know what area in the 2000s, it just changed where it was like, we don't want to make conscious music anymore. It's like, what the fuck?
They want to make
money. Are we forgetting Queen Latifah, MC Light, Dana Dane, Run DM, like all of these great, Gil Scott, who is honestly one of my favorite people. But just, it's like, are you forgetting the impact of what music was back then and what having a message about your culture meant to the industry?
Cultural awareness is not, in your opinion, on what percentage do you believe we have cultural awareness? Like, we have a culture, but do our people realize how much, like, have an awareness that it is a culture? Like,
I just put everything in half.
50-50?
Yeah, because I feel like there's a group of people who understand, and there's a group of people who just really don't fucking get it at all.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, but I feel like that other 50% is so loud. that you don't really notice the other 50% that is still with it because that other is so loud. It's over, like it's dominating the other half, and that is honestly the problem.
Yeah.
And the industry wants it. Like I think Tank said something. I think Tank was on he was on Drink Champs, and he had said this. He was like, if he were to come out with a certain record, they're not going to push that record because he's talking about love, and he's talking about family, and he's talking about connecting, and it's like they want us to damage ourselves because they know that there is a market for what that looks like, that people want damaging shit. They want to engage in damaging shit because they don't know that they could experience more.
Do you think it's worse now or is than what it was before?
I think it's only worse now because it's in your face, and because of like the access, and because kids are engulfed in what adults are doing now, where it wasn't really like that before. Like you aspire to certain things, but you weren't indulging in negative shit before. Like when we were young, there was no one was sitting online talking about themselves all day. We were focused on coding and like, why am I not in your top 8? These days it's like, I want to go viral. I want to make content all day, and I want people to like me. And if I see one bad comment, I don't know how to feel about myself. And it's like, if you have kids who are engaging in that at as young as like 4 or 5,
What advice
think
do you
about their
have for
fucking
them?
brain, that they should not have access to that.
How much? What is your advice for a 6-year-old?
6-year-olds should not have phones. They should not be on social media.
But what is
Parents
the
should
dating
not be
gonna be
forcing
for
them to engage in content.
What is the dating gonna be like for them?
Oh, they're gonna be stressed the fuck out. No, they're gonna be stressing people out.
Oh my God.
They're gonna be stressing people out.
So Tinder might be the thing for an 18-year-old. Imagine that. Not going out, not meeting anybody.
Yeah.
Like in high school, you just Tinder.
That actually makes sense though. Like saying it out loud.
Is that good?
No, it's terrible.
Oh, okay.
But I could see it because of like the need to be on social media.
Yeah.
Because Tinder's been out a while, but people I could see
Yeah.
it being prevalent now because people online.
Yeah.
People are dating people they find online.
Yeah. Sometimes I go into trying to like over optimize the conversation because it can get real like bad. It can
On
get
social
real
media?
dark. Or just conversations about like the state of our culture, because there's so much negative we can talk about. And even this conversation's like, I'm getting like depressed.
Oh,
but
why?
I'm like, because it's like, I think in the future so much, like, what if this happened?
I do too. I do too.
And I'm just like, damn, like, it's kind of.
But I think the beauty in our culture, I did like a voice memo earlier. I think the beauty in our culture, and this also can go into what we were talking about earlier about man versus woman. But the beauty, because I feel like we all know the positives within our culture. The fact that we are I don't care what anyone says or thinks hearing what I'm about to say, but we are the creatives. Like we are the pioneers of so much that we engage in within our culture and just within the world itself.
That's what makes me
our
mad.
Inventions, our like talent, like, and I think the negative part is when I think the whole thing is with either social media and then the money thing. So Instagram creating this thing where, okay, you have a blue check, that means you mean something. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that kind of changed the scope of how people engage themselves on social media. Mm-hmm. So then you have a culture that was once moving in like a certain direction of intent to now moving in a direction of, okay, we're no longer moving with intent. We want popularity. We want X amount of money. We want people to just know who we are, regardless of what that looks like. And I feel like that's where we kind of deterred within us as a culture. But it's like we are the creators and the inventors of everything that we engage in. We just don't value ourselves enough to.
Which one's more important? A creator or how can I word this?
I was about to say, because I feel like if you're black, you're just naturally a creator. It's so easy for us to come up with things, even kids.
Let me say it like this. I think that's a better question. which one is, I guess, matters or more important in the grand scheme of things? Being a creator, having creativity or power?
Creativity. Because you can create so much power that you can reinvent things. You can.
Because the people that run everything, are they that creative?
No, I feel like they just have power because they started these things. Like they started these industries. They started.
They create
They
them?
create. They. I
So
don't want to
that
say that. I
creativity?
would say I don't want to say they created it. I want to say they are, because I feel like most of them are like left-brained. I think left-brained is the
Yeah, the analytical
intellectual side. Yeah, so it's like you're able to know that someone is creative and know how to turn it into a business.
So
You
they're
can
more
turn it
savage.
into
They're
something
more
that can
savage than
function
us.
and make profit, basically. Because no, for real, because like motherfuckers be so creative. It's like, well, how can you turn that into a business?
I told someone that I feel like we're a little too creative. I'll tell you why.
I could see that.
Because we give up, we give up things that we kind of start, and we kind of let them go because we want to create something else.
That's me.
And like jazz, like rock, like blues,
All
like
of it.
country.
All of
Because
it.
every time I heard, I can't stand.
all
I heard a
us.
black person say they don't like country, I just be like, you
I'm not
created
gonna lie.
country.
We did create it, but I wouldn't actually sit and listen to it.
But have you heard a black person's country song?
Yeah, it's definitely different than the white.
Then keep
But
digging.
I still am not sure if I'm going to listen.
Yeah, of course.
I have to, because
Everybody
with
has
energy,
taste.
what is my vibe to listen?
Everybody has taste, right? But it's just, don't be mad when they say it's theirs.
Yeah, true. Because we're not. Because I feel like in that sense, if you're not engaging in it, then it's.
Because I heard a few folks that don't look like us say that they do the real hip hop now. Because they do lyricism now, and now they try to like
What?
say yeah.
They're the real hip hop now.
Yeah, because they
That
do
is
lyricism.
crazy.
Because of Eminem.
Because they do
and-
lyricism.
Yeah, because a lot of black folks don't do lyricism. They do, trap music.
Now they do.
I know, but if we totally let go lyricism, you're gonna have a bunch of Eminem saying that they lyricists and that's their thing. If we just let it go.
Y'all have to stop y'all shit.
I'm saying that's
Stop lying to y'all. Who do y'all be around?
huh?
I'm talking to the people who they be
Oh.
around. Like who is your environment? Your supporters, the people holding you accountable, and who you think you are within.
Well, people was saying you heard about the John Morant situation when he got caught with the gun and stuff. People were saying just let Ja be Ja. So that's the people they
And
be
Ja
around.
gonna be exactly where he at if he continue being Ja.
Those are people they be around. People
Yeah,
that say just
yeah.
let Ja be Ja. Let him
Yeah.
be destructive. Let him.
People who enable
know,
behavior.
Yeah. So if it's 50-50 like you said, that 50 is weighted.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
No, but it is, because there's a lot of people I meet, just adults in general, who I'm like, okay, you've been around people who enable your
Yeah.
behavior, and you're content with acting like that, and you're also content with sticking around those people to keep you exactly where you are, because someone else may make you uncomfortable with showing you that there's something else, or that there's another way to be, there's another way to carry yourself, there's another perspective to be had. Like there's so much more than just where you are
Right.
to be content with acting like that.
Facts. It is.
Because I'm calling it out. People be so bothered by me. Because like, do you know you just did that? Like, damn, I did that. But you have to be accountable. Because
That
no
takes
one's
courage.
perfect. We're all figuring it the fuck out.
That takes courage though. Because if you ruffle feathers, you got to be willing to deal with the fluff. You know. Yeah, like a lot of things I say online about our people, and because the reason why I talk like this for anybody viewing this that may just not know where I'm coming from, I've talked to like 50,000 people over the last 10 years. People like, nah, I don't believe that.
I
No,
believe it,
I'm talking
yeah.
about DMs, phone, emails. Yes, I've talked to these people. Phone.
Yeah.
I've seen the state of our culture from a perspective that when people say they different, I be like, you're not though.
Yeah.
Like if you see a hood, I don't want to cuss on your podcast, but you see a hood N-word, it's a starter kit for a hood N-word. They have the specific characteristics that you're gonna anticipate what's gonna happen next, right? So if the state of our culture is like that, I try to think, well, what can spark a change to where we can have some type of prosperity? Because the way it is now, it's like a train. Is a train has so much momentum, and it takes so long for it to stop, but it takes a whole lot to start. That energy, right now, our people, we on a we on a crash course. Like if something doesn't drastically stop us from being so toxic with not being together, not creating great relationships, not getting our business together, letting
self-sabotaging
gurus dictate what we should do, always needing a follower, always needing a leader. And a lot of us are creatives, but a lot of us, we follow what everybody's doing. So it's like, yeah, we are creatives, but it's like we're creatives that gotta follow a script a lot of times. Nowadays, I'm like, why are we just following all these trends? So if we can, do something about that and shift where we're going, that's my hope. I always have some type of positive hope that at some point we can change this. And that's why I'm, here to try to make a little adjustment, a little pivot, if I can. But it's a task, and still make money. Because a lot of stuff, I try to fix a lot of my clients' credit for free.
Oh wow!
For them to just blow their credit. And I'm
why would you
spending
do
money
that
to
for
try to fix it, because when they get funded, I get it on the back end.
Yeah, true. That makes sense.
You see, so a lot of this, the back
that
end.
makes sense. Yeah.
It's like, oh well, you know what? I'll try it.
Yeah.
It don't work.
Okay.
But I tried it. Get your credit together. Be like, yeah, but I needed it. It was COVID. But I'm like, we was trying to get you $30,000 approved for your business, not COVID relief, just a loan for your business, because interest rates were low at the time, and we spending $2,000, $3,000 per person to try to fix their credit, and they just keep using it, get a car, get some Louis Vuittons,
Lord,
get whatever on credit. And I'm like, it can almost make a person sell out and just be like, let me just be on the other side, get paid, and make it worse. So when I see people quote unquote selling out, it's like, man, did you probably tried and you just got fed up and you broke. Because a lot of people be like, man, he's selling out, he this, he that. It's like, well, do you know what they probably went
through?
He's probably tired.
That is true.
And it's like, can you judge him? It's like, kinda, but then it's like you feel their shoes and deal with all these crazy people. So it's rough. It's rough, especially if you're trying to run your own thing, and that's going back to the entrepreneurship thing. You're gonna hear 99% no's in the beginning.
I'm segueing this because this is so perfect. So this goes into something you mentioned earlier that we talked about, one of the topics, but I'm going to flip it a little bit. So talking about that, like with artists coming and you basically taking on a role of like helping them so that they can get to a place where they have the funding for whatever for their music. So like, I guess in that space, with you being someone who's collaborating with them, who's taking like the time out and the effort to support them, do you feel like, because you're doing this with is it primarily male artists you're experiencing this with, or is it usually both?
With what? Experiencing
I guess in regards to the business aspect. This is what we're working towards, that you have the funding for this.
I work with artists around the world, to be honest. A lot of people don't realize the global part in there, which is
and
fine,
I knew that.
But it's fine. But some people are biased and just don't believe it. But you are open to like, oh, you work with artists around the world. I have Afrobeat artists, and just like, do you work with us? I'm like, yeah, Latin artists, So but yeah, just it's just a lot more rappers than everybody else. So it's not to segue. It's like 1 million artists in America.
There are
like a million, like 1 million artists legit with a Spotify account recording, But Yeah, I deal with artists, men and women. Sorry, what was the question?
I guess in regards to like collaboration. So I know earlier we talked about like not necessarily like the 50-50 topic, but just working with men and then working with women. And so how sometimes it can be like a disconnect.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
See, that was a great segue.
Yeah. I find that working with men and women and then them working together when it comes to our culture, it could be a lot better. And when it's men, black men, what I find is we can learn a lot from black women doing business with black women, how black women do business with each other. Let me just quantify that right here for a second, because when I see black women collaborating in business, especially in Atlanta, they run it in business, okay? Black men do well, but as a community, black women killing it in the collaborations, like easy collaborations. It's very, very, in the grand scale of things, it's very streamlined. It's very, you have some connections there. When it comes to black men working together, it goes back to who's going to be the leader.
Yeah.
How can I frame it to where I don't work for you, I work with you. It never can be, I work for him. I work for him. It got to be, I work with him, or it's
he's not above me.
He's not above me.
Yeah.
Even though you can make 100,000 with me or 50 by yourself, it's like, how about you make the 100 with me?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm quote unquote the boss, but I have the most responsibility. So if you want to take on that responsibility, then do it, and I will follow you. Right? So that's that point. When I have worked with black women, a lot of times that could be better, which we working just fine. But I just want to point that out.
We working
just fine. It's I see that just in general, it could be better if black men understood that you don't have to finesse the woman to try to get with her through business and try to use your gift to then slide in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? And then on the women's side, as a small critique, if the guy is the leader, let him be the leader sometimes. It is okay. Sometimes I've ran across me having some ideas. I had a girl that worked at a radio station and a news station. Her job was to get businesses press. And I was like, look,
that's dope.
I will give you a percentage for every single business, because she had a stack of business cards in her purse. I said, I will give you a percentage of every single business that you refer and it goes through. Happened one time, that contract was 10 grand. But she didn't do it in the way I said. I had to do a little extra work, and we didn't agree on a percentage.
Okay.
So there was no percentage.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I'm like, you said, hey, check out this person, da-da-da. And I'm like, yo, we need to really talk about da-da-da.
Yeah.
And they asking me like, yo, we want to work. And I'm like, yo, we do this, we get this contract, da-da-da. And they like, yo, we working or not?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I got to meet them.
Yeah.
I got to negotiate this. I'm doing a commercial for them. That's when I was filming back then. Did a commercial and marketing for auto repair company. They had like 5 locations. It was a big auto repair company. And it was 10 grand for like 3 months, doing their commercials and all that stuff with marketing. It was great. And I was like, so I circled back. I was like, look, this what happened.
Yeah.
That was one person.
Oh my gosh.
Now, we didn't agree on no percentage, so you can't play that game.
Yeah.
But moving forward, let's do it, because I've been telling you. And you don't like this particular job. Wouldn't let me be the lead.
Wow.
So she held all of the contacts and didn't stop referring. But because it was okay if it was just a referral without no business, because it happened.
Yeah.
But I'm like, look, it happened. Let's do this. Because your job is to recruit people for the news, and you work for the radio station. Like, this is a
Yeah,
lick.
you're art. Yeah,
This is PR. This is
PR.
legit PR. Like, you could be making like 6 figures from just referring and just doing an introduction, and I will do the rest.
Do the right, yeah.
It don't have to be all of that.
Yeah.
But and that just kind of has happened throughout my life. Is just Black men, we got to do better. To where she might have thought I was on some of that
bullshit,
time.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that we were talking about earlier about the branding. We got to be branded better as real professional businessmen.
Right,
Because if
yeah.
I didn't look like her and looked like somebody else, she probably wouldn't been for it.
That is so true.
So I kind of can't necessarily blame her, even though she wanted to be independent. And I'm like, I can help you gotta do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, anytime a Black person scams, you hurt your own people. Anytime you do terrible business, you hurt somebody else trying to do business. Anytime you are not professional, you hurt the next person trying to do something. Yeah. And you make the perception of you that, oh, it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Let me just show up late because it ain't gonna look like nothing here. Let me just,
I've experienced that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but just starting a new podcast, people
man,
just showing up
like
super late.
That causes us to not trust each other and not take nothing serious. It's like, I don't take it serious because the last time I took it serious and the time before that I took it serious, it was like this. Yeah. That's branding. So, you know, you got this situation where it's like, I want to date out. I only want to date out. I don't want to date out because every single person I dealt with that looked like me, it was this. That's branding. Yeah. And that's going to hurt your son and your daughter when they date. So if you finessing a girl or you finessing a dude,
it's gonna come back to you.
It's gonna come back.
Yeah, for sure.
And even though we haven't, you know, per se have it come back to us, we feel it. Yeah. I feel it now from somebody who scammed some artist or business years ago. I'm feeling it. So.
Oh wow.
You know, it's because they just perceive that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Because of what I look like.
But then also people have to know that you can't judge the business you do with everyone else based on those experiences. Because I've had terrible experiences.
Some people hurt and can't bounce back.
But it's like, it's life. If you that hurt and you can't bounce back, then how are you able to like, how are you navigating through the changes that you're going to always experience? It's always going to be some shit that's going to happen. Facts. It don't matter what industry, what field you in, there's always going to be something. You could be going to the doctor. Yeah. And you can have a terrible doctor. Like, you're not going to go to no more doctors no more because you just had one bad experience.
If I say
you're going to find you a new doctor.
If I say that, they're going to cuss me out.
Oh, my God. I mean, they probably...
They going to cuss me out. I've said that. I'm like, so you got scammed by...
You've said that before?
Yeah, I'm like, you got scammed by a foreign... I tell artists this. I be like, look, you got scammed online. Fair. But I guarantee you it was a profile page that didn't look like a Black person because if it did, you wouldn't have paid for it anyways. So it was some foreigner that had just a regular white person's face. Like,
talk to him and you went with that shit. He was
and you
a
went with it,
white man.
And it had no posts on the Instagram page, but you just went with it because it looked like it's, you know.
He said he legit. White people, you know, they don't usually stunt like us, so you can never really tell what.
Right, but then I'm still to blame. Or some shady promoter that had you perform last at a showcase.
Ooh, shady promoters.
And it was only 10 people there.
Shady promoters. Yeah, and if you're an artist, you're gonna experience some shady promoters. Like,
yeah, like I'll pay you half, and I'll pay you half after the job's done.
You get there, they don't know what the hell you talking about. They don't know what's going on.
That's ruining us as a people. That just bad experiences because you hear it all the time. It's like, I love my people, but the customer service, it's like, man.
Customer service be trash. Okay, so no hate or no shade. Maybe this is hella shade, but like my biggest thing right now with customer service and just professionalism in the Black community is the hairstylists and the beauticians. It's the beauty industry. My wife people. Said that. It is the beauty industry. There's no professionalism. There's no if I'm late, I gotta do all these extra things. But if you come to my appointment and you're late and you're the stylist, you're not prepared. You still got a client in your seat. Talking about you got to keep running out to keep doing others. And you want me to pay you full price at the end of the service?
With tip.
Have you lost your mind after I just read your whole long ass bio on your page because you don't have your
On
own
style
website.
seat, on your style seat.
Or I gotta DM you for like I don't if I see DM for appointment, you're not even an option anymore on my search.
So from the outside, it looked like it's popping. On the Black women business thing, it looked popping.
I don't want to DM you to book. I want to be able to go on your page, click your link, look for what I'm looking for, and book the service without hassle.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to be.
It's not
It
that
should not
seamless.
make me feel like, what the fuck? If I feel like that, I don't even want your service.
I've heard they make you feel like you gotta beg them to do that.
That's what it feel like.
Damn.
Send it like you send them styles, or it could be any. Have you had that experience, Yoshi? Nah, facts. Listen,
well, she
when
wanna
first
do
start,
her
I'm
own
doing my
hair.
own nails because I ain't got time. Like
That's crazy.
Like especially the hair thing because it's come blow dried and your hair got to be a certain type of blow dried. And if it's not this blow dried, then I'm gonna charge you $40 for blow drying.
Y'all
But
gonna
it's
like
like you're
this
a
one.
stylist.
Y'all gonna like this one. They're a celebrity stylist.
You know what's crazy? Is I was talking about this the other day. I said let them do one head, whole bio changed, whole personality changed.
Yeah.
The pricing changed. You just
Yeah.
did one head.
One influencer.
Why do
They're
I
a
gotta
celebrity.
pay you that because you did their head? I'm not. Our budgets are not the same. Like I am not. Like what? Child, I just don't. It just don't make. Especially just really with that industry though is where it gets me because if you're already not licensed or you didn't go to school for cosmetology and you don't understand porosity of hair. And
That's
just certain
chills.
things where you are helping me, like with my hair as a whole, that I gotta pay you extra because you chose not to take that route. Because as a hairstylist, you're supposed to wash my hair. You shouldn't want to touch my head, and you don't know what products I'm using to clean my
So
hair.
even to wash your hair is extra. That's
Yes,
crazy.
wash, blow dry. When you're supposed to wash my hair, blow dry my hair, and style my hair, you're supposed to do the whole thing. I don't care if the service is too long for you. Because I think that's what it is that they're thinking about, okay, if this style takes 2 hours,
I ain't gonna
this
be able
is
to
what
get
I want to
another.
make today. So I'm not doing wash and dry because that's going to take me an extra hour.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you care about the quality of the services that you are providing or you just care about
They
making
get
X
away
amount
with
of
it.
money?
They getting away with it.
And that's what's pissing me off is that
They getting away with it.
They need to stop getting away with it because y'all not about to stress me out to get my hair done. Bitch, if I could do all of this, I would have did it myself.
And I don't like barbershops. I don't like going to barbershops.
Barbershops are different
Can't
now.
do it. I can't do it.
They're
It's
just
too
different
ignorant.
now.
The conversations, I can't do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, but
Can't do
barbershop conversations have kind of always been. Remember the show, The Shop on MTV? You remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
People don't remember that show. Was it called The Shop?
I know. I remember something similar.
Because I thought about it when I noticed that what's that podcast? I think it's called The Shop.
Yeah.
The new podcast with LeBron, and I was like, yo, that reminds me of
They
that
had those
MTV
back
show.
then. They had shows like that
back
back,
in the
then.
day.
It wasn't nothing. There's nothing new they got
Yeah.
going on right now.
But it made me think about something you said earlier. And this, I think this could be for anyone. I feel like if you have an idea and you feel like the people you're looking for this idea to go toward will benefit that population or that demographic. My thing, because I do this sometimes, like I'll be down about an idea that I have, and then I'll be at the grocery store or any kind of store, and I'll be like, okay, there are 5 different brands of Frosted fucking Flakes. This was the first box of Frosted fucking Flakes. The other brands are not as, let's say, like brand-wise, they're not as attractive, I guess, in the sense of this one. But they still decided that I'm going to come out with this, and people are going to choose to buy it or not. But it's like if they're on that shelf, I'm pretty sure people have continued to choose to buy it for it to still have a place on the shelf.
That is a great.
So if you have
great
an
segue.
idea,
Yeah. I
think
this- I
about
like
what
this
that
point you
looks
just brought
like.
up.
How you're setting yourself apart from other brands, but just know that there's always room for whatever idea you have.
I like that point because I actually was in. I have a video where I was in a grocery store and I showed them. Hit the mic. I showed them the camera's facing the shelves, and I was like, it costs more to be eye level than down here and up here, so you got to pay for that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even think about that. Because
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not bending all the way
Eye
down to
level
look at
right
whatever
here.
is at the bottom shelf. I don't even see that.
By the register. That's why all of the candy is here because it's eye level for children. That's why it's low.
Yeah, that's how they get everybody.
Yeah. So if the child is just like this, like,
Looking, yeah.
let me get a Milky Way, let me
Yeah.
get this nigga, you know.
Money,
it's
money,
right there.
money.
So, you know, at the end of the day, it's like so many people, you know, who want that access, who want that type of, you know, vibe. They're gonna have to pay for that. And like you said, the Frosted Flakes thing is like, yeah, you know, the Frosted Flakes example. You know, you got so many different brands
Of
and
everything.
yeah. This is mine.
No. This is my phone. You need my phone?
Yeah.
You're trying to connect the phone? Here.
Yeah, he gonna do
Oh,
yeah.
Here.
That was close.
But that is true because, like, literally every time I go to the grocery store and I'll brand compare, I'll be like, okay, do I want this syrup? This syrup, like, okay, well, this syrup is this. This syrup has this.
And then you got
this syrup
this.
is thick. This one's
Then you
thin.
got this. It's like this sexy. This one is kind of blocky.
You know? And that's
it's
why I
just
didn't
like-
get that for me because I was like, okay, it's too big. So I'm going to
Yeah,
get
but
something
it's
smaller.
but it's foreign. Fiji.
I'm going to give it
It's
down.
like
This
what's
is
a
easier
Fiji?
to hold.
Right. So for men, maybe for women, they got the
Yeah.
flower right there. So maybe it don't have a nice shape or whatever, but it has that red.
It's an element that attracts a certain eye.
And red sticks out.
Yeah.
And Fiji, you know, that's branding. It's like from the islands of Fiji. We don't know what it is.
But niggas don't know where the hell Fiji is.
Right. And you got a red. I think this is a. Dang, I can't.
Are you trying to guess the flower?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow,
I know. I
okay.
know what type of flower
No
this
idea
is
what kind of
actually, but I can't remember.
But that makes sense because I feel like when people do shop for things, I mean, what people are looking for is different. And I think that's the thing with branding and marketing. Like
Yeah.
me, I'm all about, I don't really care for the packaging too much. Like, is this convenient for me? Is
Packaging
this,
packaging is marketing.
but packaging is marketing. But I know me, like someone could say, oh, hey, you should try this. I probably not
Like
even look at
this?
the packaging, but you enjoy it.
Cam Kirk Studios camera care kit. This is actually nice.
Period.
I like this.
And make sure you all get your make sure you all come to Cam Kirk Studios and get your kits. You can also get them online, correct? Period. And they have merch as well. So Amazon?
Amazon PPR KEH in here.
So y'all have options. Y'all can go on Amazon.
I
And
like
we know
this.
y'all got an Amazon account. So make sure y'all go on Amazon and
Great-
don't just
great-
leave
great
this
branding.
in y'all carts.
Great branding for all the
Check it
camera
out.
guys, camera girls.
Yeah, because I bought one because I really bought one because my phone
Yeah.
for the white. But
Like,
they
all
also
of that
have
is-
the what is the blow? Yeah, that. It's a lot
Yeah,
of good.
so like-
it's a lot of good stuff in here.
Like Apple, like whenever we open up an Apple product, that packaging, it just makes it feel like it's higher quality.
Yeah.
You know, the way the plastic
Wait,
goes
I was
on.
about to say the.
They have
huge
they
thing.
have a packaging I forget the name of it, but it's a packaging, I'm gonna just call it a packaging director
Okay.
at different corporations that their job is to have an effect of when you have it in your hand. How does it feel? Similar to like a controller,
Yeah.
a game controller, how they compare and they
Yeah,
see
like
how it
holding
makes you
it
feel.
and yeah.
Yeah. So if it makes you feel like this is sleek and how you lift it up and all that and how it sits in there, all of that is a part of business. So,
Yeah.
you know, if a person is, you know, trying to be an entrepreneur and do this, you got to think about all of that. And if you don't have it, it's okay to pay for advice,
Right.
pay for a consultation.
Yeah.
You know, don't down real information and ask questions. It's okay to ask a question and get the information so you can get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
You know, so,
And know that in that packaging, like the same way you want your product to feel sleek is the same way you have to come across to people, especially if you're presenting yourself in spaces where you have to talk about your brand. You know, it's like, well, how are people seeing you because you are the products. You
Right.
have to represent what you're trying to sell. And I like that you mentioned Apple because another thing I really love for creatives to always remember, because I do this where I'll change something over and over again, and then I'll think about all of the brands that went through name changes, logo changes, like
Starbucks.
just full on rebranding as you're still engaging in their product.
Yeah, Starbucks started off with the mermaid full. You can see the whole body of the mermaid, and they got smaller and smaller now, it's just the face.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
There was a mermaid?
It is a mermaid.
What made them think of a mermaid? No idea. Because what?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
But it made me think of Apple, because I think at first Apple had like, I think I
All
seen
those
something that had like a
things,
whole
like,
apple.
Logo is a I don't want to go too far, but they have what's called like sigils and sigils and color magic. So a lot of logos and a lot of brands they go into that. So marketing can get all the way into the that's not really black hat, but it kind of is to where if you know psychology and you know suggestion, then you can create your own propaganda.
That makes so much, and that is a different type of power.
Yeah.
It's
like red.
Yeah.
Like certain noises, like doing this actually feels good. It creates endorphins. So that's when we slide on our phones, it creates that. Yeah.
So what y'all need to do basically right now is, if you're watching, you need to make sure you connect with Darris Robbins of Mic Check Global.
It can get a little crazy.
And you look at his plan options, especially if you are an artist, globally, any kind of genre. And you all need to book him.
And business too. Like I run a business, and a lot of it's. I blame myself that it's called Mic Check Global. You know, if it was called Global Solutions, then people would be like, "Oh yeah, you market businesses." But since it's Mic Check Global, people are like, "Well, maybe you used to start a business for business marketing," and I'm just like, I could, but
you could do everything under.
Yeah, I could still do everything under Mic Check Global, you know. But I know that confuses the branding because it says music and the logo is music.
Yeah.
So how could you market a business? So then I flip it and be like, well, if I'm marketing and I'm marketing my own business, then I know how to market businesses. So that has gotten me some corporate deals. That has gotten me some, working with different businesses and things like that. It's not as many businesses with a budget than there are rappers.
Yeah.
And truth be told, a lot of startups are worse with their budget than artists because artists are a little bit more emotional buyers. So they are a little bit more sporadic and they don't care about profit.
Yeah.
But if you were to talk to, because I've marketed for barbershops and salons and stuff too in the past, but if you talk to a lot of these startup entrepreneurs, it's all about profit. Yeah. So they don't really want to spend. And if they do spend, it has to make immediate money. So they're actually more tight. So the only jobs I can get are corporate. Yeah. That have money to blow. So I don't have as many.
Yeah, that makes
which
sense.
I would like to work with more businesses, but they're so like, my product is dope. You know, I'm a dope hairstylist. I'm a dope barber. You know, like I'm nice on the camera. It's like, yeah, but you know how many people shoot? Yeah. You gotta be a savage with like your deals.
Yeah,
like if you're gonna come with photography and film, you're gonna have to compete. You're gonna have to have your leads. You're gonna have to have follow up. You're gonna have to have call of action. You're gonna have to have an offer they can't refuse. You're gonna have to have a what's the word I'm looking for? An easy buy-in, where it's like you have to have sometimes a dollar menu of what you do. Okay. Just to get them to come in. So that's why people say, well, it's a free consultation or free this or 50% off this or 25 that to get people to come in. So it lowers their kind of their shield a little bit to
fear of working with
exactly to actually start. You have to do all of that stuff, and I have consultations for that.
Period.
To help somebody do that.
And that's how we're ending it. So make sure you connect with Darris Robbins of Mic Check Global. Get y'all consultations in, because if y'all have listened to this, like I have so many questions now, but if y'all have listened to this podcast and hopefully you are able to walk away with what with the starting point, if you are an artist or a creative of any kind, wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to navigate marketing or branding for your business or just who you are, definitely. So what should they do first? Like go on your website?
I'm very, very simple.
Okay.
You can go to Mike Check Global or my personal page, Darris Robbins, and just shoot me a DM. Not like how they shoot DMs.
Be professional.
I answer all of my
Hello,
DMs.
how are you today?
I love the DM because it's faster than email. Even though email is cool, it's personal. It depends on what type of business. I like the DM personally because I can see your page. I can see what you're about instantly, you know, through Instagram, you know. But yeah, I'm simple, you know, through that. And hopefully I don't have to show you like my bank account or like how many sales I have to prove like I'm like successful, you know. But I've had to do that before, you know. It's like well, if you say you got this and that, you know, you need to show me like the success. Like, why do I have to do that?
Yeah.
People that don't look like,
but at least you're able to do it.
Yeah, but that.
I mean, you shouldn't have to, but it's like
though. But that's kind of like it makes me feel like low to prove how much money I have.
Because why don't you trust that I am honest and
because
genuine?
Because the branding of black men ain't good.
That is true.
So what I do have for people who listen to this, I have a video, okay, on YouTube. It says $150,000 dollar marketing campaign. Just type in 150,000 Mike Check Global. It's a Facebook receipt of one of my ad accounts from last year. So if I spent 150,000 in Facebook ads, why would I spend that if I didn't make anything?
Yeah.
And I just leave it there.
Yeah. But that's important for people to know.
But that's branding. It's like you kind of have to, but you don't want to feel like shit trying to overprove. But I know what state I'm in. I have to prove something. So for the ones that still is like, I don't know, go watch that video. It has it all I'll break that all down. So.
I mean, would y'all rather get a consultation from someone who is a professional and
because there's a lot of gurus out here that do
great in his craft, or you want to go to your neighbor who is giving you terrible advice?
But it's gurus that sell courses.
It is
that
that
are way more popular than me.
Because if y'all knew how they making these courses and these ebooks, y'all would not be out here wasting y'all money. But that is neither here nor there.
They make their money from courses. I make my money from my business.
Yeah.
I just try to help.
And you're actually in the business because they be making them courses and
they
that's none of my business.
Way more popular than me.
It's none of my business though.
Way more popular. I'm getting my popularity up, but I'm not gonna sell no courses though.
I'm not gonna sell no courses though. Y'all gonna be seeing more of Darris.
We're gonna do it.
I have some things in my head, so. But make sure you all follow him.
Yes.
DM him. Get a consultation.
Subscribe to the YouTube
Subscribe
channel.
to his YouTube channel, and make sure you
subscribe to yours.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all subscribe.
I'm gonna be
to
back.
my YouTube channel.
I'm gonna be back.
Comment.
I'm
gonna
be replying to all y'all comments.
Do something like
any comment y'all put on there. I'm gonna reply to it.
Period. Me too, because I like engaging with y'all. But y'all, this has been the Daily Store Run Podcast. I am your host, Aaila. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Store Run Podcast. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Hey, this is Darris Robbins with Mike Check Global. Thanks for checking out my episode on the Daily Store Run Podcast. Check me out on Instagram. Peace.